That girl thinks that she's so fine that soon she'll have my mind. Hey everyone, Tony Winston here, paying tribute to the musical genius, in the words of Eddie Murphy.
Stevie Wonder, the musical genius.
Musical genius Stevie Wonder. And, I heard a lot of Stevie Wonder songs recently, and his lyrics are great, of course. His singing is phenomenal, his harmonica playing is great, but I think his songwriting is what elevates all those things just to musical genius level. It's difficult for us guys to sing songs by Stevie Wonder because he's got such an incredible range. But this is one song that is kind of in a singable range for like an ordinary voice. A lot of guys could handle G sharp minor. And, that's the relative minor of B, so we got 5 sharps. And I got a chart out of this book. What book is this? Real Book, New Real Book number 3, and there's also a bass chart on the next page. And the bass goes something like, like that. And sometimes you roll it like that because it's hard to play those 16th notes. And if you were trying to play it on solo piano, I wouldn't try to do too much of that, but yeah, maybe you can. Starts off with the drum beat and then comes right in with that. Okay, it might be down an octave too from there. I hear it more down there. Now it's interesting that they don't quite get the chord right here. They've got a G sharp suspended over A sharp, G sharp suspended over A sharp. I mean, that's about right, but I think it's a minor 7 flat 5. Maybe that wasn't very clear on the recording, and it's more of just a suspended chord. Either one's going to sound good. Now, so a typical progression, the Stairway to Heaven, usually done in A minor. But it kind of skips over that one and just goes right to here, and then to here, and then one more, which gives us an E major 7th. So you just got a G sharp minor triad, and you're moving a bass note down. Not a bass note because it stays on G sharp, but you're moving the bottom note of the chord down by half steps like this. And then you're sitting right there on this triad, and if you move up to C sharp, you've got the first chord here and the little cool little thing here. Soon she'll have my mind. All right, next line. That girl thinks that she's so smart that soon she'll have my heart. And I think it would go like, let's see what the bass line does right there. What is that? That's the 5th measure, A. Yeah, it actually goes, so the bass line follows those chords. So, all right, so you got C sharp minor. It's like an E triad with the C sharp in the bass. Take everything up by like a third. You got E major 7th. Kind of looks like the G sharp minor there. And then all black keys on D sharp minor 7th. You hit that one twice. Back to the C sharp minor 7th. That looks like an E triad. And then a straight F sharp major triad. She thinks in no time flat that she'll be free and clear to start. And you see right there, we got that same chord. Free and clear to start. Now look, don't be afraid to sing this song if you don't have like a kind of a soul voice. If you kind of like a Frank Sinatra, crooner or something like that. I saw a guy this weekend, and he was so good, but he was kind of like Bobby Darin or somebody. He had a real good stage presence. He sang all this Stevie Wonder songs, and he sang Brick House and everything. But he did it in a very kind of Las Vegas style, and it went over great. So, don't try to sound like something you're not. Free and clear to start with her emotional rescue, a love that you leave torn apart. All right, let's go over that. So we got this A11th chord. All right, you put a G triad over an A, you get an A11th. You can extend it out like that with a 13th in there. You know, another way to write it is the way they wrote it, but I always think of it as an A suspended or an A11th. And then you just go to F sharp minor 7th, put a D on the bottom, and you got D major 9. How about that? And then we go right back to that G major, but this time we've got the root, and then go down a half step and start playing these triads. C, D, and E. Now let's look at the timing. With her emotion, with her emotional rescue, a love that you lead torn apart, lead torn apart, lead torn apart to the bottom, to bottom. So the timing is there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, and they show you the timing of the chords there on the chart. So the G major is right on the beat. 2, this is right on the beat. 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4. And then you do another verse. Now the second ending, I'm not going to sing it because I haven't quite got it in my vocal memory yet. And there's some note there that seems questionable there, so we'll have to listen to it. We're just going to blow by it here today. Love her, so love her. Maybe you like hit the C sharp 11th first and then add that on the third beat. Love her, and I want her. All right, now, these chords are a little complicated, but get these under your right hand first. F sharp major, and then flat the, what do? You flat the third, you flat the fifth, and you flat the seventh, and then you've got that F sharp minor 7, flat 5, and the bass is going back and forth between these two notes. So and see right there, you've got that F sharp minor 7, flat 5, but with the G sharp in the bass, it's just an altered dominant. There's root, 7th, 3rd, flat 9, flat 13. That makes it altered. Now look how much easier it would be if you took it down a half step. You just C, A minor, G minor, F major, and there's your G altered. So couple of reasons for taking it down. You can hear I can't quite hit the notes sometimes, and it would certainly be easier. I kind of screwed up the chords here. That's why I had to edit the video, because I couldn't quite remember these. But with a little practice. Okay, now there's a great bridge in this song too. So let's take it to the end of the chorus there. I'd love to, and I want to, and I need to do all that I have to be in her love. All right, recognize that from the intro. All right, it gets right into the bridge. That's great songwriting there, that you can lead into the bridge, which is completely different, and also lead into the song exactly the same way. The more kind of stuff that listeners will recognize, the more they like the song, the quicker they start liking the song. So C sharp minor 7, flat 5. And then to this chord, it says G, the melody's that, so it's kind of like a C sharp minor 7, flat 5, that inversion, and then make it a G major 7th. Or if you're singing it, you can take that note out, because that is the exact note that you're singing. Sometimes you don't want to double that, but you know, it's a good song just to play as an instrumental too. So if you're a jazz piano player and you haven't covered this song, I think it might be a good song, kind of a standard. I think it was fairly popular back there in 1981. Any of y'all alive in 1981? I've been hurting for a long time. You've been playing for a long time. You know it's true. Same thing. Let's see. These are the kind of chords you want to learn how to solo over. It's just a couple of chords. You kind of work it out. So C sharp minor 7 flat 5, D major scale, and then the G major. I think the same scale works over that one as well. There's that same chord again. I'm pretty sure it's a G sharp, or rather an A sharp minor 7 flat 5. And then it goes to A13, which is like the E, kind of like the E, or I should say D sharp. It's just hard to speak in these keys. D sharp altered dominant. Same as an A unaltered dominant. So A13 transforms into a D sharp altered dominant when you move the bass a tritone like that. All right. So I'm going to mess around a little bit on this bridge just to see what I might come up with. Third verse. That girl knows every... And the lyrics are great to this. As some of you know, I've been sort of on an emotional roller coaster over the past whatever. So anyway, I was singing that last verse, and it kind of got to me the other day. So I'm not even going to try to sing it today until I straighten myself out a little bit. But I'll leave the song there, and I hope you enjoy the 4 pages of sheet music that I'm giving you out of this book. And, you know, I give out a lot of this free sheet music, but a lot of times, you know, I just flip through these books and find songs that, you know, I haven't even thought about playing and give them a try, and there's, you know, it's an act of discovery. So, you know, buying a couple of these new real books is you know, a good thing to do, because you'll come across a lot of good songs in there, and you'll have the sheet music right there. You don't have to mess with the printer, and it's nice and big, and you can read it, and it costs you a few bucks, but you know, it helps keep these sheet music it helps keep these sheet music companies in business, and that's a good thing. So go out and buy some books if you can afford it. If not, go down there into the description, and the charts will be there on most of my videos. Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Talk at you again soon.